Hi everyone, good evening. Welcome to Vignan Tech Academy. My name is Sirivandana. Today I'm going to introduce you to data analytics, which is one of the most in demand and future proof careers in the world right now. Before we start, don't worry if you are from a non technical background, or else you have completed your BCom, BSc, MBA, or else you have a career gap. This course is designed from scratch, assuming you guys have zero prior knowledge. So, coming into the course, so have you ever wondered how Netflix knows exactly what you want to watch? Do you think it's a magic? No, it's not a magic. They analyze everything you have clicked before and suggest movies you might like based on your taste. So have you ever wondered like how companies are deciding their salaries, profits and growth? The simple answer is data analytics. Data analytics is more about collecting data, cleaning it, and converting it into useful business decisions. To talk more about it, we have a technical expert, Faisal Khan, who has 9 years of experience in teaching. So, yeah, over to you, Faisal.
Thank you, Sri. Thank you so much for that introduction. Right, let's get started, guys. My name is Faisal Khan, and I hold about 9 years of experience into IT, where I have started my career right from business analyst as a Salesforce business analyst, actually. Later, I've been worked in a technology called Salesforce, where I worked as an admin developer and a Lightning Web Component developer. And then I made a switch to data science, data analytics, and all. And now I'm completely working as a corporate trainer and a freelance data analytics. Okay. Now, coming to my training journey, I started my teaching field, from past 5 years. I'm into training, where I have trained a lot of corporate employees as well as the college students, and I've been honored as a best faculty in a reputed institutions. Now, coming back to our main topic, what is data? You see, data analytics, basic or the foundation of data analytics is data, understanding data. Okay. Now, what if you ask me what exactly a data is? Data is a collection of facts. Now, what does it mean by fact? You see, any information is a fact. For example, let's say Siri joined the session. Okay, Siri joined the session today. That's a fact. That's a data. Okay, there are about 400 million terabytes of data created every day. Okay, now what does that mean? You see, 400 million terabyte in the sense, you can multiply this with GB. If you want to convert this, let's say 400 million, okay, once billion, you have to multiply with million, let's say once this million, okay, and again into 1024 GB. You can assume what range of data is created every day. Okay, like this data is created in a high volume. Okay, now what's the use of this data? You see, this is a fact. This is, we know, okay, there are 400 million terabytes of data is created, but what's the use of this data? Okay, there is no use of this data until unless this data is being analyzed. Okay, until unless we analyze this data, there is no point of having, or there's no point of storing this data. Now, why do we analyze this data? That's actually today's motto. Okay, that's actually today's motive. Now, we'll understand what exactly a data analysis is. Okay, what exactly a data is, what are the types of data available in the market, and what a data analyst do. Okay, now let me start with, there are two types of data. Okay, or let's say we can describe the data in two ways. One is quality and one is on quantity. Now, a data can be a quality data or a quantity data. For example, let's say uh, Ramu is a good boy. Okay. This describe the characteristic of Ramu. Okay. That is quality data. Okay. That means that falls under a quality data. Now, Ramu scored 10 CGPA, or let's say Ramu scored 98 out of 100. That's represent a number. A numeric data is fall under quantity data. Okay. Now, which convey information or a collection of fact is a data, and this data can be described in quantity or quality. Okay. Now, for example, let's say there are 300 students in the class. Okay. This is quantity data which describe a number. Okay. Now, let's say 98% people scored a good marks. Now, since the number is involved, again it will be a quantity data. Okay. Now, when I say we had a very great session, okay, this is also a data, and this is a quality data. Now, as a data analyst, we are going to work on the quantity data, more of a number type of data. Okay. Moving to the next slide. Right. Again, the data is defined in these three ways. One is structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data. Okay. Now, what exactly is this? You see, a structured data is in a form of a table. Okay. Anything in form of a table is a structured data. As you can see this symbol. Okay. Now, anything which is in a form of rows and columns is a structured data. Okay. Now, anything which contains this table, and along with the table, if you have some other information, some let's say some images, okay, or a video, etc., that is or let's say semi structured data or semi unstructured data. We call it both semi structured or semi unstructured data. Okay. Now, what is unstructured data? Unstructured data will not have any kind of tables or any kind of a particular formatted. Okay. Now, unstructured data is completely unorganized data. Okay. Non-organized data. For example, let me show you this the next slide. That's bring you much clarity here. Structured data is in the form of a table. Let's say any Excel file, you pick any Excel file, you pick any let's say document file or a PDF, okay, which contains table, which defines table. Okay, that's a structured data. Okay. Now, unstructured is completely not in a order. Okay, completely not in a order. For example, let's say movie file, or audio or video, or a document which contains only text, that's unstructured. Okay. For example, let's say our Instagram is completely unstructured. Okay. Instagram provides the data, but that's completely unstructured. Same like, Facebook or LinkedIn, for example. Okay. This is unstructured data. Okay. Now, coming to semi-structured, there are certain web pages. For example, let me take you to this page. Here. Or else, let me take you to this sheets. Okay. Or here. Okay. You see this file. Now it is very clearly mentioned. This is the ID. This is a student name, let's say, and these are the marks secured by the student. Johnny got this 85, scored 85 out of 100, something like that. Okay, so this is completely a structured data because these are in rows and columns. Okay, where these alphabets are the columns, where these numbers are the rows. Okay, now coming to semi-structured. Okay, here if I go to any site, for example, let's take IPL points table. Okay, it can be of 2025, right? This Now if I open this site, okay, You see, this site contains table, right? You see, we have the columns, we have the rows. Okay, so this is a structured data. But if I scroll down, you see there are certain images. Okay, these are unstructured. Okay, these are unstructured. So collaboration or the combination of structured and unstructured is semi-structured or semi-unstructured data. Okay, now if I open a YouTube, that's completely unstructured data. Okay, and as a data analyst, we are going to work on the structured data. Or even if we get the unstructured data, we have to convert that into structured and we have to work on it. Okay, now moving to the next part. Now let's see what exactly a data analysis is. Now you see, these are the four important terms that you have to remember: the process of importing, cleaning, transforming, and modeling. You see, these are the four important terms. Okay, importing the data, cleaning the data, transforming the data, and modeling the data. Now what does that mean? You see, importing the data, as I said, there are a lot of there are a lot of sites which contain semi unstructured data or semi structured data. Okay, so we have to get that data. Okay, we have to import the data. Okay, we have to import the data in one application, and then we need to perform cleaning is like, we have to remove certain duplicate values if you got any duplicate. Or for example, let's say we have to clean certain values which do not make sense. For example, let's say we have student's name. Okay, but we have student's name, we have student's id, we have students classroom names, etc., etc., but we don't have their fee structure. Okay, there is no point of analyzing it. Okay, so you have to remove that values. Okay, you have to remove unwanted rows or unwanted data. Okay, you have to remove the duplicate data. Okay, that removing part is cleaning. Okay, data cleaning. Next, transforming the data. Now what does this transforming means? Transforming means you have to convert certain data. For example, you see, let me take you to this site. All right, you see this structure. Okay, you see this data. Now let's say I don't want this, I want the status. Okay, I want to know the status of this. I want to know this grade. Okay, based on this marks, I want to decide the grades. So I have to transform or I have to generate something here. Okay, so to generate, for example, let's say the people who secured 85, I want to give them a grade A. Okay, above 70, or I want to give grade B or something, so and so, so and so, so and so, up to C, 35, grade D, something like that. Okay. Now, this you have to add some data here, or you have to, elaborate the data. Okay. In this situation, you have to transform the data. You have to make sure the data make more sense. Okay, that comes under data transformation. Okay, now more like converting one data. Or for example, let me take one more example. You see this point table here. Now I have this points, I have wins, I have lost. Okay. If I see there is one point missing, that is total match placed or total number of matches played. Okay. So if I have that one column, that one more column, it would have make more sense. Okay. So adding that column or adding some data which makes sense is transforming. Okay. Next, right. Modeling. Now, what does this mean? What does the modeling means? You see, again here, this is one table where I have this IDs, where I have this student informations. Okay. Now imagine I have one more table here. Okay, where I have the same, and here I have a fee structure. Okay. Let's say, let me remove this one. Okay, only IDs and the fee. Okay, let's say this IDs fees is something like that. Something, this one, this so and so, so and so, so and so figure, and so on. Okay. Now, if I ask you what is the fee, I want this answer from you people. Let's say here, if I ask you what is the fee of Rohit, or sorry, let's say what is the fee of David? Okay, David ID is 103, right? Now, you can ping me in the chat box, or you can unmute and answer this question. What is the fee of David? Yes, 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 right. You see, David ID is 103. Perfect, Charan. Here, 103. And here you can see 45,000. Okay. Now, you see, these are two different table. Okay. Now, understanding the fees of, fees based on this IDs is bit difficult. Okay. If you have these two different table, and understanding the fee structure or getting the data, mapping the data is bit difficult. Okay. So connecting these two table and getting a values, or getting the data based on a common field. You see, here we have IDs, and here also we have the ID, right? So based on the IDs, or based on a one particular column, getting the data or getting one particular output is modeling. Okay. Huh. To do modeling, you need to have two or multiple tables. Okay. All right. Next, why do we do the why do we do these all things? Why do we import the data? What's the purpose of cleaning the data? What's the purpose of transforming the data and modeling the data? So the end goal or the end result is to get a decision, to suggest something to the client. Okay. To make the industry grow, or to make the company grow. Okay. So depending on our decision, okay, as a data analyst, you need to pick, or you need to take a decision based on which a client will do perform the action. Okay. Now, what does that mean? You see, imagine we are getting sales data. Okay. Imagine we are getting a sales data from multiple countries. Okay. One from India, one from US, one from Canada, one from England, etc., etc. Okay. Now you guys are getting the or importing this data from multiple countries. You need to perform cleaning and transforming the data. Transforming could be transforming the currency into one. For example, India has a different currency, US has a different, UK has a different currency, right? So transforming it into a single currency. Okay. That comes under transforming again. Okay. Connecting multiple countries into a single table is modeling. Okay. Now the end goal is, we need to analyze, okay, where in which country the sales are rapidly increasing, or in which country the sales are decreasing. Okay. Based on that, we need to find what is the cause, why the sales are increasing, what's the reason why the sales are decreasing. Okay. And we have to find that cause, and we have to suggest this to the client. Okay, this is the reason, you need to make more ideas on this part, or you need to make a decision on this thing, etc., etc. We have to come up with a conclusion. Okay. And we have to suggest that to the client. Okay. So that's based on our suggestion, based on this data analysis. Okay. Client will take a action, what to do, how to increase the sales, or how to growth, how to perform the growth, etc. Okay. Next, coming to data analysis process, it's about four key steps. Okay. The very first step is data collection, and 40% of the work will be done by others. Right? It could be a sales department, it could be a marketing department. They'll collect about 40% of the work, or they'll collect the data, which leads to 40% of your data analysis work. Okay. Then you have to come into the picture. Now you will be performing data cleaning, data analysis, and visualizations. Okay. Now, what does it mean by visualizations? Okay. Of course, you have the data cleaning term heard already, right? Now, data analysis is again transforming and modeling the data. Now 15% is data visualization. Now what does that mean? You see, if you give this kind of data, okay, this kind of data to the client, and what is this data? This is purely a structured data, right? If you show this data to the client, he won't be able to understand this, because these are multiple numbers, okay? He or she, whoever the client is, they won't be able to take any particular decision out of it, okay? Now, if you present this in this visual, if you present the data in this visuals, now this is very clearly understandable, where we are finding the test conducted. Okay, during COVID, which country made more tests conducted? Which countries has conducted a lot of tests? Which country had very few tests conducted? Okay, here you can clearly see Germany has a lesser volume compared to India and USA, etc., etc. Okay. Now, coming to data analysis tools. Okay, you see, these are the five important tools in basic statistics, okay, basic mathematics actually. Okay, Excel, very important. Okay, as I said, okay, we are going to work on the structure data. Structure, Excel comes into the picture. Okay, wherever the structure is there, there is Excel. Okay, next, SQL. Now, why do we use SQL? You see, SQL stands for structure query language. Okay, now what does that mean? You see, it stores the data into a structured format, like, in a table. Okay, and it will help us to process the data very quickly. We can import the data from SQL very smoothly and very fast. Okay, then comes Power BI. Power BI or Tableau, any one, not both. Okay, if you know any one tool, that's more than enough, and we are going to cover Power BI for sure. Okay, then comes Python. Now, why do we use Power BI? You see, Power BI is used to display the visuals. You see here, and again, Power BI helps you to import the data from Excel or SQL. Okay, Power BI helps you to clean the data and to create visuals on it. Okay, next, moving to very important tool, that's Python. Let's say if you don't have the structured data, you need some tools where your data is converted into some documents, and from there the data is being processed to again Power BI or some other application like Tableau. Okay, now Python will help you to retrieve the data from files. Okay, anyways, these are very important tools, and we are going to learn all the tools in depth in the upcoming sessions. Okay, next, the future of data analysis. You see, data AI is booming now, and AI is definitely gonna do data cleaning. Okay, do basic analysis. Okay, and create simple visuals. That's for sure gonna happen. But AI can't replace a human thinking. Okay, where a human knowledge required, or where a human knowledge required to take certain decision, the business oriented decision. Okay, AI won't be able to do work on that part. Okay, so data analysis, as a data analyst, you required, and you will be the person who's replacing AI. AI can't replace you. Okay, so tools are replaceable. As I said, tools are replaceable, but skills are not. Okay, now, as you can see, data is, data volume is exploding. 400 million terabytes of data is not a joke. It's a great amount of data, right? Next, we required industry, or we required certain industry which can handle the data, and data analysis or business intelligence is the only industry which can handle this bigger volume of data. Okay, anyways, this is your career path. You will be joining as a fresher, as a entry level roles, like, data analyst, etc. And here, in the next slide, it's very clear. These are the freshest job roles that you will be applying after the course. Okay, then this is the job roles for the experienced people who wants to make career switch in data analysis. Okay, and let me have a quick Q&A. Okay, you have, that's all about this demo. If you have any questions, if you have any queries, you please come up with the questions. Guys, you have any questions?
So we are taking silence as a no and yeah. Thank you, Faisal. It was a very good technical presentation, and we understood the basics of data analytics and how it is impacting in our lives and in our future careers as well. Thank you so much. So now I would like to introduce you guys to our fee structure at Vignan Tech Academy. So this overall program costs you 30,000. Initially, a student has to pay 5,000 as a training fee. So once you get placed, you need to pay the remaining 25K. So the main agenda of our Vignan Tech Academy is pay after placement. If this 25K needs to be waived off, a student needs to attend 90% of his classes. He should maintain 80% of his test score in quiz, and he should also complete 90% of the tasks which were assigned to him. So you might have a question that why you are going to choose Vignan. So we are providing 6 modules in just 5,000 rupees. 6 modules includes SQL, Power BI, Excel, Stats, AI, and Python. And you'll also get recording sessions which last up to 1 year. We provide you placement assistance. We conduct mock interviews, and you'll also do a hands-on projects, which includes 2 mini projects and 1 major project. And upon completion of your course, you'll receive a certification of completion from Vignan Tech Academy. We also provide add-on sessions like we support you in your Naukri building and your LinkedIn profile, and also resume building, and you guys will be having soft skills training as well. If you have any queries, please contact us to 970-3974-890. So if you have any questions, we are here. Please feel free to ask.
Hi, ma'am. You told 30,000 and 5,000. What is the difference between that two?
So it is very clear. So basically, the whole course is 30,000. But as a student for the training, so as I told, it is so basically it's a 90 days program. Okay, so in this for this 90 days program as a learning learning platform, you need to pay only 5,000 for learning and the training for this mock interviews and everything. So once you got placed, so we are not asking before you're getting placed. So once you got placed, the remaining 25,000 needs to be paid. So if you don't, I mean, if this 25,000 needs to be waived off, as I told you, if you attend your 90% of classes, and if you maintain this 90% of attendance, and if you have more than 85% in your test score, and also if you have completed your 90% of tasks assigned, then this 25,000 gets waived off. So initially, as a student, as to start your training, you need to pay only 5,000 rupees. Is that clear, Krishna?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So if you have any queries, please note down our number and just feel free to contact us.
Yeah, sure, sure.
So, on a good note, we would like to end our session. I hope we are good with questions and all. And thank you, Faisal, for your time. And it was a great technical presentation. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you, Siri.
Thank you, Sri.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Bye.